Let's start with the statement first.
Definitely excited to play another SEC game on the road. This is probably the gauntlet of our season. Very important phase of our season. No matter where or who we play, it causes an ability to sort of put you in hostile environments and positioning. You look at playing at Arkansas, you look at playing in the month of January, I'm speaking. You look at playing all the teams that we've played thus far. You have to understand it will never get easy this month at all. I don't care if we're playing at Ole Miss. I respect Kermit. They have a great team. It's a hostile environment. But Texas A&M played their last game like a team that got scorned last season. And there's no doubt in my mind they had this game circled to a point where they look at it, no different than we look at it. It's must-win games. It was a must-win game for us and a must-win game for them, something that gave them something that people may have criticized them on in terms of quality wins. Well, they beat a top 20 team at home. And in this conference, you have to be able to serve home court, be able to do the things that you do. But, same with Vandy. Vandy was a tough game for us. We came out with a win, and Arkansas was a tough game for us. And Kentucky was a tough game for us. It's going to all, continue this month. I think there's 4 or 5 quad one games. You guys can help me on that or get the facts. But it doesn't. January, Happy New Year, right? Questions?
Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm absolutely great. How are you, man?
I'm well. Thank you for asking.
Hey, man, you never have a eyebrow hair out of place, man. I respect that about you.
Really? Thank you. Got them done yesterday.
No, I'm good. I'm good, bro. I am great. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. What questions we got?
Dennis, you guys get a chance to you guys aren't in class yet. You get a chance to stay on the road. How beneficial is that kind of experience of being able to extend the road trip a little bit, stay together, and not come home and go back and forth?
It's an important part of every season. Being able to grow during that Christmas break, focus uninterrupted with other responsibilities, but grow as a team, as a unit, as a staff. Programs take their jumps in an important part, and this is an important part of our season, because that schedule is never going to be easy in the SEC, but having the road games that we have and obviously the home games, we have to continue to get better, and that's what we're focusing on.
Coach, as far as getting that first SEC, road win this season, like you said, obviously January just continues to get tougher and tougher. How important to you is to kind of get that, as soon as you guys possibly can?
As soon as we possibly can. I look at it from this standpoint. That's a good question. You want to just give your very best and play, a better brand of basketball, better than we played at Texas A&M. You can't put pressure on you have to win a road game. No, you have to play well to give yourself a chance and be in position. I thought last game we didn't do that in 20 minutes. You can play a half. You can go 7 to 10 minutes of bad basketball, but you can't play 15 to 20 minutes of bad basketball in the first half. That puts you behind. In addition, you just want to be able to give yourself a chance to win at the end. And we didn't do that here on the road against a very, very good, well-coached Texas A&M team. And obviously it's going to be the same against Florida. Florida is not going to be an easy game at all. Todd Golden, I respect him. Known him for a while. Great coach. They are in a position where they're not going to just not play their style, right? They're going to go in with the attitude to protect home court as you should in the SEC.
Dennis, Florida had a real solid kind of defensive outing against LSU last game. What did they do well on that end?
Well, they have a shot blocker in Colin Castleton. He has 50 blocks in I believe what's that, 15 games, 16 games. And when you have a guy like that anchoring as an all SEC performer, it gives you enough. You can make mistakes on the perimeter. You can take gambles. You can do certain things knowing that you got some protection. I think they do that well. They do force turnovers where they have put guys in different spots, in conventional ways. But they're a good team, man. I think they play good positional defense, but also UF being an assistant at Florida State, that's a good home court advantage that they have there too. They have great fans, great energy in the building.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Colin Castleton. Do you see any similarities in the way that Florida and a team like Vanderbilt kind of lean on their big men to win games?
Well, Colin Castleton, I think, has been an anchor, important piece. He averages 15 and 7. So, he does a great job. Not just, you look at the bigs in the country, he's one of the top 3. And you look at the kid at Michigan, you look at the kid at Purdue, Colin Castleton is, in my eyes, the 3rd best one. But also he's a kid that I recruited at Florida State. So I know he and his family well. He's definitely a talented young man. You can't just focus on him because they have 5 other guys that average is double digits. 9.5 is double digits in my mind. So they have 5 guys outside of him that averages a high percentage of points. And whether it's Reeves, Richard, Trey or Kyle Lofton, they have guys that can score as well that's around him, and they've done a great job.
Coach, Coach, you talked a little while ago about how during practices and film sessions are opportunities for self-discovery. Do you go through that same process as a coach, especially after a loss?
Absolutely. I do it after wins. That's why I come back. You guys may think I don't give my team credit, but I analyze everything and I don't leave myself out of critique. We have to continue to get better, and that's all of us. That's the only way you make the growths that you make throughout a season. So I definitely reflect on myself and discover different things that allow me to get better as a coach, not just in short term, but long term, and obviously throughout my career.
Kind of going off that, I know you're kind of in the thick of it right now, but through these first 4 games of the SEC season, what do you feel like you've discovered about yourself?
It's a small sample size to sort of write down with a permanent marker the things that I see in myself. But I can tell you what I am encouraged about. I think I'm encouraged about how my guys respond in the thick of the moment, and what things we put in place to allow that connection to happen. I do love the composure that I have on the sidelines, no matter if it's, calls that I don't agree with. No one can really tell if I disagree with a call or not. I think referees respect that. I think our fan base respects that. I think our players respect it because they look at me even through the slight of their eyes or face on or in peripheral to see how I'm responding, which gives them courage to respond a certain way. And they plug into me, right? No different than, you plug your iPhone in to get some type of juice or power. I think our guys plug into me and plug into our staff, and we have to continue to lead them as men. No matter how hostile it is, no matter how difficult it is, We have to do it in a way that's confident, not arrogant. We have to do it in a way that's humble. We have to do it in a way that they can use in other parts of their life. And that's what I look at most. That's what I reflect back to. I also look at, being able to make in-game adjustments, being able to play a style of basketball that our players love, but also recruiting wise, being able to be confident in my players. We shot the ball. This was the worst game that we've shot the ball. And that's 1 out of 16 games. So if we shoot the way we shoot over a period of time, our stat sheet will look a certain way at the end of the season, which is the overall goal, the end of the season, not at this small sample size. But also being able to play at a pace, and different things. We got to do a better job. We can't foul teams 30 times and expect to win a game, especially on the road. And we helped Texas A&M, which is a great team, playing with a chip on their shoulder because they was left out the tournament. Being able to get that type of relationship is what I'm proud of. I reflect on how me and my staff can decompress, debrief together. It's not just a one-sided thing where it's just me and this dictatorship, but we have a great staff that has input. But also I'm happy that, the analytics, how I look at analytics is proving to be true. I can go on and on. I can go on and on, and it's just, I like the bond that we have with it as a program.
All right, thanks, Coach.
MIZ, y'all have a great day. Here's Nick Honor. Nick, you want to sit here so you can have some light?
All right, questions for Nick Honor?
Nick, how's it feel to be back in the home state?
Oh man, it feels good. Great weather. And I'm around my guys, so it's good to be back.
Nick, it seems
Nick,
like
looking at this,
it seems like when you
Go
guys, take a loss like that, you guys always seem to, bounce back in a good way. What's the message in the locker room after, losing a game like A&M and even after, that Arkansas game?
The message is simply just stay connected. I know from other teams, sometimes those losses put guys against one another, but it's different over this way. So our biggest thing is just staying connected. We have a few small things to critique, but for the most part, we're going to continue to play our way and just keep it moving.
Nick, when you look at this Florida team, what do they do well, especially defensively?
I feel like they're just a solid team all around. I know they got a big fella down there, but they just got some experienced guys. Got some guys that can shoot it. Some guys who are pretty solid. So, I expect it to be a pretty good game, pretty high level. So I'm excited about it.
Nick, looking back at the Texas A&M game and kind of the slow start that y'all had in that first half, do you feel like it was something that Texas A&M was doing defensively that disrupted y'all, or was it more just self-inflicted kind of stuff?
Texas A&M did a good job, but I would say it was more self-inflicted. I don't really know what was going on with us for real. But I gotta step up a little bit more, slow the game down when we get in certain moments before these runs happen. But I would say it's more self-inflicted. Also, doesn't really help shooting 7 for 31 from 3. But just the fact that we could, bring that lead back down to 4, and you take away some of those fouls that we made, I believe it's a different story. So I'm still encouraged by this for sure.
Nick, I've noticed during game stoppages, you all huddle and talk to one another. How valuable is that, especially in a hostile road environment or when things aren't going your way?
It's very important. That's something we've talked about since June, because, like I said, with the connectivity, sometimes in those environments, it's easy to, get distracted by, I don't know how loud the crowd could be or another coach talking. So we just make sure we're connected after every free throw or dead ball we can, so the message is relayed and we're all on the same page.
All right, anything else for Nick? Thanks, guys. Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.